Hi everyone, hope you're doing well from wherever you're watching this channel, depending on your time zone. Now, there is something Raila Odinga addressed today in his press conference. And by the way, his press conference is just coming a few days as we're waiting to see William Ruto addressing the nation from the National Assembly. Raila talked about members of parliament who have turned themselves into contractors. They want to build roads, hospitals, and schools. Then they welcome in the president to launch. Imagine your role is to oversight, but you want to be the contractor. Then the president want to come and load, you standing there as a contractor. Total embarrassment due to conflict of interest. There's an issue that Raila Odinga has addressed to, and he took almost 5 minutes repeating the same thing.
It is the members of parliament are not supposed to be executing things. The members of parliament are supposed to be oversighting. But if an MP himself is the executor, you have a situation where MPs themselves are the contractors. I know examples where you find a president going to launch a road. The contractor is a member of parliament. So, if that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what conflict of interest is. It is embarrassing. Embarrassing indeed.
Now, what Raila Odinga is trying to address here is a serious matter. In fact, let me quote him first. I feel very frustrated because I was involved in drafting the constitution. I know exactly how it is supposed to work, but the greedy of MPs, they want to be constructing roads and health centers. They want to be contractors themselves. Who is going to oversight the government if the oversight themselves is the implementer? It does not happen anywhere in the world. This is one of the reasons why it is now becoming very hard for the Speaker of either the National Assembly or Senate, especially National Assembly, to have the quorum to discuss agendas. The other time, they had to call off the National Assembly sitting because there was no quorum. Now, you quorum, imagine they need about 54 members of parliament just to be in the House. Out of 290 something. Members of parliament are busy in contracts. Wako so much busy. They are doing contracts. They are cutting deals. That is why the whole house is remaining empty. No serious discussion going on there. Sasa kila mtu kama amekuwa contractor who is going to oversight the government under William Ruto's regime, corruption is inevitable because even those who are supposed to oversight are busy cutting deals or contracts. When will they oversight? When will they see corruption? When will they point at corruption? That is the biggest problem. Raila was addressing himself to the difference that's emerging between the National Assembly and the Senate. Senate was asking for more money to the counties. But it seems the National Assembly is not keen to see money going to the county assemblies. In fact, what they are pushing for is to reduce the amount going to the county assemblies, especially when they blame on the issue of not implementing the 2024 finance bill. Maswali ni rahisi tu, hata Uhuru alikuwa hapa. With 8%, county government were getting money, pesa nzuri. With William Ruto, pending bills in county assemblies. Governors cannot run affairs of the county. The money they get from this regime is for the current budget. Wanalipa tu mishahara, basi. Huwezi fanya maendeleo. So, it makes me to remember about the push of BBI. BBI wanted to put it at 35% total collected revenues to go to the county. Remember, in this constitution, it is 15%. then it goes to the county. But members of parliament want even to reduce it to less than 15%. Senators had settled at 400 billion Kenyan shillings as a Revenue Act for 2024. Members of parliament are against that. Wanataka less than this. Where are we heading to? Reason behind this, they want CDF. Wanaita NGCDF and other things. They need more money for construction of roads, wafanya mambo ya shule, healthcare. Governor atafanya kazi gani? For us to succeed as a country, governors should be given resources, enough resources. In fact, to reduce mambo ya kusema tribalism na hiyo nyingine huko juu, just give money to governors. Let them work. No one will be focusing so much on presidency, devolving the functions. Something that Ruto is not keen about. So it's something that has frustrated Raila Odinga to come out in this press conference. Imagine mbunge ndio contractor amejenga barabara na watu wake. Alafu president anakuja kulaunch. Who will check on if this a job was well done? Let governors get more money. And you members of parliament, be in the parliament to do your oversight. Ukitaka kuwa governor, go and run for the governor on ballot. Ushinde, upite. I think that's what Raila Odinga is trying to address. It's a very serious issue, but we are taking it so much lightly. There's no serious debate in the parliament. Seats are empty because they are busy in contracts. That's Raila Odinga. He is very right on this. Now you can understand why members of parliament are demanding for NGCDF. When will they sit down in the parliament and do the oversight work? Counties have been able to develop, especially those who have been left behind, simply because of devolution. But now this regime want to reduce the amount going to the counties. What do you mean? You literally want to kill them. So Raila Odinga is here to disagree with William Ruto and members of parliament as far as revenue allocation is concerned. Na bado mengine yanakuja. This is to tell you that if Raila will miss the AUC seat, he will be here. He will be here to campaign for the presidency. He will be here to challenge William Ruto. And he has about to do some of the signs. So without wasting time, I want to leave you here with the entire video from Raila Odinga dealing with this issue of revenue allocation. Remember to subscribe and share as you watch.
You see, it's a standoff which is unnecessary. I'm just asked the members of National Assembly to be more patriotic and move away from functions which are not theirs. It is very clear. It's so clear that, I feel very frustrated because I was involved in the drafting of this constitution. And we know exactly how this constitution is supposed to work. But the greed of members of parliament. Members of parliament want to be constructing roads. Members of parliament want to be constructing health centers. They want to be contractors themselves. Who is going to oversight the government? If the oversighter himself is the implementer. It does not happen anywhere in the world. Some kind of cloud. People don't understand really the bone of contention between the Senate and the National Assembly. And you can also see that, on the other hand, the county government are being blamed, the governors, for lack of development, that they're not doing anything. The development which is available is only done by members of parliament. See members of parliament constructing roads, members of parliament constructing health centers, schools and so on. Because the funds which are supposed to go to the counties for those purposes are being held by the national government in what they call National Government Constituency Fund. And even this road levy fund is going to members of parliament. This is not the work of MPs, this is the work of counties. Today, the bulk of the revenue that goes to counties goes for purely recurrent expenditure. nearly 70% of the revenue going to counties is only for recurrent expenditure, paying salaries to workers and so on. Only 30% remain for development, which is very inadequate indeed. Because the bulk of which should be going there is going into these other funds, which are under control of members of parliament. So if that were to change, then the equation would change. Nearly 50% of revenue going to the counties would be for development projects. And the counties are the ones which are actually best suited to do the development. And then you've got the county assemblies to oversight. Members of parliament are supposed to oversight the national government. You see, they're supposed to represent their constituents. Two, they're supposed to legislate. And three, they're supposed to oversight the government. But they themselves are now being involved in the execution of projects at the constituency level. In fact, there's very little work being done in the National Assembly. The assembly is most of the times empty. There are no debates taking place in that parliament the way it used to be when we were members of parliament those days. Parliament is no longer doing its work as a national assembly. This is why we are really calling them to account. Not constituency fund being controlled by members of parliament. That's what I'm saying. It is the members of parliament are not supposed to be executing things. The members of parliament are supposed to be oversighting. But if an MP himself is the executor, you have a situation where MPs themselves are the contractors. I know examples where you find a president going to launch a road, the contractor is a member of parliament. So, if that's not a conflict of interest, I don't know what conflict of interest is. It is embarrassing.